What is going on, X Community? X Stomp here, and today, people, we are going to be doing week number 5 Aron Pickems for, the Aron division. Did I ever say Aron? Anyways, joining me is going to be Galaxybomb.
Hello everyone! As you can probably see on the screen, I did terribly this week, or last week, really.
Yeah. And if this last game does get played, I have a potential to get 2 or 3 more points. You as well could get 1 or 2.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is good.
I have to think smart on these next couple of matchups. I can't do anything crazy.
I think you have to guarantee your locks. I think that's what it has to be.
Yeah. I still feel like locking on ninjas. Gee.
I mean, okay, if you wanna make that a rule, we can do that.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Seems fair.
All right. So going to the first game here, we got Harris versus Seabass.
All right. So this is a pretty interesting matchup. Let me just bring up some information here, just so that I can have more things to say. Really quick.
You could do that. I will just mention that Seabass actually swapped the Terra from Quaxwell to Gallade. That wasn't the Terra I thought you were gonna swap out.
It's not bad because Gallade actually has a lot of move variety. So stab sharpness with like the Terra and everything, I could see Gallade actually being a couple different types. Even like water as like a baseline with Aqua Cutter and sharpness seems pretty scary in the right like matchup.
Yeah, I meant like probably should have swapped Love Disc, but it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean anything is better than what was there originally, so it's definitely a good sign, I'd say.
Yeah, definitely.
So just looking at this, I think their overall matchup seems pretty even on both sides. I feel like Harris's team might be in a bad spot just with their weaknesses. I think there's a lot of things that Seabass can use to punch holes into Harris's team pretty easily without much that can be done in retaliation. Some of the things I'm seeing are Salazzle kinda stomps all over the team pretty easily. There's really not much that can block a Salazzle that easily.
Yep.
Another thing would be, I don't know, Gallade Aerial Ace even can have a pretty easy time.
Why Aerial Ace?
What resists flying?
Well, you got Sandy Shocks. You've got and it doesn't have to necessarily resist. Like Hatterene, if it's defensive, could take. Vaporeon could take.
Sure. Just things thrown out there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not sure how Harris is going to build here to protect against, because the thing is, Seabass's team is very offensive, and Harris's team is not very defensive. That's kind of where the problem comes in.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of feel like Harris might have the upper hand here, just because I do think Primeape is very solid here, especially if you could like Terra into like maybe like Terra Water or Terra Steel. Probably Terra Water, I'd say, because then you could hit Mondstail a lot harder.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm kind of 50-50 here. Like, I know that both of them at least have 1 loss, but like, you know, it's I think both teams are just solid here. So I'm 50-50.
I think Harris has 1 more win over Seabass, but they've been kind of even in terms of the scoring.
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it to Seabass here. I'm gonna say a 4-0 victory. I think they'll trade a couple mons, Gallade or Salazzle will get a setup and then sweep the rest. I think that's what's gonna happen.
All right. I'll go Harris here. I think Hat's gonna be a menace. There's not much like Tinkatuff, sure, but when that thing's gone, it's not much that really can take on this Hat.
It's fair.
So I'll go with I'll start off with a clean. I'll go 4-0 as well.
Cool.
All right, next game here we have is Nuke Bomb versus Davey. Ooh, this is gonna be a good one.
This is gonna be a very good match. I'm actually very excited for this match.
Yeah.
So obviously, Cloyster versus Moltres is an interesting lineup. As they're like the top point mons. Though maybe I should say Battle of the Birds Braviary versus Moltres. Since those are both very strong flying types that kind of fill very similar roles. Though Moltres can be built defensively, it can also be built pretty offensively.
Right.
Which do you think is better?
This is really tough. So I'm actually I don't know. I'm kind of leaning more towards Nuke Bomb here. Main reason, I do see Quagsire with Terra, right? So if it could Terra Steel, how do you break a water absorb Terra Quag, right?
Or even an unaware Terra Quag.
Well, the reason why I didn't say unaware is mainly because like if it could +4 like special Cloyster and they could surf, well, I guess unaware makes sense.
Well, yeah, like especially against Cloyster. I mean, it's a great answer to Shell Smash Cloyster.
Right.
Or even like, does Braviary get Nasty Plot?
It's Braviary. No, but it gets Calm Mind.
Calm Mind, yeah. So even that potentially, I think unaware is actually really solid here, because there are some scary setup mons on, like Davy's team.
Right.
So yeah, it's definitely a pretty good option. I think Cyclozar's great here, by the way. I think that kind of constant pivot to stall out Klefki turns from screens and stuff will definitely help a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, because the thing is, Klefki's coming out or Fortress is coming out on Cyclozar. You could just swap around constantly and abuse the those mons coming out. So
yeah,
like just go into Moltres and do something.
Davy has Rotom as the ghost type, which is kinda subpar, especially when you're against like a Quagsire here. Rotom does not feel good to bring to this matchup, but if you want to stop Cyclozar from kind of stopping Klefki from doing anything, or even Fortress from doing anything, it's tough. It's definitely very tough.
Yeah, Verdum doesn't look that good here, actually.
I'm gonna say pretty. In my opinion, it's pretty easy to give Nuke Bomb the win here. Just because I feel like their team has a lot of really good answers against Davy's team. And if Nuke Bomb builds correctly, it's kind of a solid victory. So right. I'm going to give them. I think it's going to be a close game though, because I think it's going to be pretty slow paced and it's going to be sort of whittling each other down until advantage is gained. So I think it's going to be a 2-0.
For Nuke Bomb?
Yeah, 2-0 Nuke Bomb.
Okay. You know what? Yeah, I think I have to go Nuke Bomb too. I'm like really trying to see what Davey could do. The best thing I could find is like setting up with Braviary and trying to win like that later on, but
yeah, it's tough. You have to get through Quagsire first, and you don't have a lot of ways to do that easily.
Yeah, because again, the Steel Quag also walls your Braviary. So
yeah,
like what do you do? So yeah, with that, I'll give Nuke Bomb a 3-0.
Cool.
All right. Next game, we got Blue, which is our new coach, versus Ninja.
This is pretty funny. Blue coming in to immediately fight against the Ninja. Um, we poke fun a little bit, but overall, this is definitely going to be interesting to see how Blue kind of holds up their team building, see how their team actually functions and such. Because I'm pretty sure there were a lot of changes to the team.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken. How do you like this team composition? There are some mons here that I'm interested to see how they do. Sneasel Suzui especially.
I think the team that was originally there was better in my opinion.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, cause yeah, I can't even pull it up. But Samurai they kept. I know. They kept Altaria. I think those two are really strong. Bronzong's nice. Yeah, I think. I think
what on this team do you think is weak? I should ask.
Is weak. I really don't like normal Tauros in this meta.
Fair.
Because you're basically, because it doesn't have throat trap anymore, you're kind of letting in ghost types for free, and then they like ghost types in this meta can just click Shadow Ball most of the time. If you send in something like a normal type, people can take advantage of that. They could, nasty plot, they could sub, so.
Right. It's not it checks a ghost move, but it doesn't do much after that if you're against a ghost type.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense. Though Tauros does have a great special move pool.
Yeah.
Thunderbolt and Ice Beam and Flamethrower, the classic Gen 1 set for a bull.
Yeah, great.
But probably, I mean, who knows? Choice Specs Tauros coming in hot. In any case, though, I'll settle with like a calm 5-0 victory for Blue.
Jesus Christ.
Calm. It's calm.
Okay. See, this is good. This is good because we don't know how Blue plays yet, and also Ninja hasn't gotten one yet. So I'm glad that like this is the first game that we made this rule up that we can't lock on, because we don't know how Blue plays.
No idea. I would be incredibly surprised if Blue loses, but this is, if there's any time to harbor doubt, I suppose this is it.
Yeah. Listen, you don't have Terras, so it's hard to vote with you. Are you losing because you don't have Terras? Maybe not necessarily, but you're definitely losing a lot of differential for it.
Are you losing because you still have 17 points left? Maybe.
That one might be bigger than what the Terras, but yeah, I have to give Blue the win here. I really wish, I hope Ninja wins this, but I think it's gonna somehow go down to a 1-0, so I'll go 1-0.
You're just giving me points here, okay?
Yeah, I got you. All right, Shaman Master versus Jamesy. Ooh, this is gonna be another good one.
All right, yeah, this one's gonna be great. I'm really interested to see which offensive lead they go with, because they both have a lot of options. Inteleon and Gardevoir are great offensive mons. Gardevoir can also be very bulky. Noivern and Tauros are also really strong, but also Tauros, like Shimon, just has an amazing defensive core. Donphan, Serena, Tauros, even Berserker and Skuntank is really good bulky mons that can complement each other really well. Inteleon Terra is really scary and just packs so much power behind it and has a lot of speed that can make up that difference. So, and I learned recently that Kamala is terrifying. So, The thing has so much damage. So yeah, this match is gonna be really fast. I think it might be the fastest match in the draft so far.
Okay. Do you think that it's gonna be high differential or low differential because of that?
I think it's gonna be low differential. I think there's gonna be revenge kills back and forth. Honestly,
Mm.
I think it's just gonna be bam, 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 and the game's over.
Okay.
But I don't know which way it's gonna go.
I'm. Yeah, me neither. I'm tempted to go on Shimon's side because there's a normal Terra Noivern with Boom Burst, and it's like no resist. There's like Frostlast, sure, but you know Flamethrower exists, Shadow Ball, and
yeah, Frostless has a really hard time checking Noivern here. I mean, the ice is really good, obviously 4 times a week, but Noivern can Terra, and it has answers to an ice type, so really rough situation in that front. Does Jamesy have any other ice moves? I know Noivern can Terra, which makes ice not really that much of a problem, but I'm just seeing if I don't think there's any other ice tech on
Inteleon, Ice
Inteleon
Punch.
has Ice Beam, yeah, or Ice Punch.
Well, Muck has Ice Punch, Inteleon Ice Beam. Gardevoir, did Gardevoir lose Ice Beam, or does it still
has
have it?
Icy Wind, I think.
I really want to check because I remember it having Ice Beam. Did it lose it?
I don't think it has Ice Beam, but I think it has Icy Wind.
I want to double check because that would be really sad if it doesn't have it.
Ice Beam. Yeah, I have Gardevoir, and I'm pretty sure I would have put Ice Beam on for a lot of matches.
Yep, it doesn't have anymore. Damn it. Okay. Well, yeah. So I think the Noivern's a problem, but on James's side, Inteleon is a problem, like you mentioned. Water plus ice here hits everything. And then you run like Air Slash for the Tauros, and yeah, I mean, you have to basically run AV Komala or like really tanky Skuntank to take hits from Inteleon at that point.
Yeah. I have. This is so rough. This might be the hardest one to choose. You go first on this.
Yeah. I'll go first. I'm gonna go Jamesy. I know it's a little riskier, in my opinion. Like, I think Jamesy, if Gardevoir's played right, if Inteleon's played right, I think Jamesy could do incredible this game. So I'll just go with a calm 2-0.
I'll go with Shimon, and I will go with a 1-0.
Okay. All right. We got Steel Conference. Jackson H versus Sir Swordfish.
Okay. So let's see here.
Well, the quick thing is they swapped out Sandy Shock's Terra for Cloister Terra, which is great. Thank you.
Great. Yeah.
And also the Typhlosion is no longer Terra on the other side, it's Ursaring.
I'm not sure how I feel about that. I don't know Ursaring's coverage moves, but I feel like I liked Typhlosion Terra more. But I just don't really think fire is a great type in general.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard to say. It does mean Ursaring can come to a lot more without feeling kind of useless. How is Ursaring's bulk with Eviolite?
It's very tanky. Very.
It is. Okay. So like a steel Ursaring might be really hard to punch through. Or like a water Ursaring or something.
Yeah. I think it mainly goes for Ghost so it can eat the fighting hit, or it goes for normal so it could just boost up its Facade Guts.
True, yeah, that does hurt. Does Jackson have a good answer to that?
Klefki?
Not really. There's Klefki, and is that the only resist?
Oh boy.
Ooh. Okay.
No.
That is worrying. that might be a really tough sell for Jackson to win. Unless you can get like, no, you can't burn it because it's facade, right? How do you stop that? I mean,
you
how
got
much
speed.
priority do you have? Yeah, or speed?
I think
Jackson
speed.
seems pretty fast.
Yeah, Jackson's team is pretty fast here, and the only thing is, which I've been finding out recently, because NU is on the ladder, that Ursaring has Trailblaze, and it's extremely hard to to switch into it, because when it gets to +2 with Trailblaze, like, what do? You kind of
Does it
just
have like Drain Punch? If it has Drain Punch, that'd be ridiculous.
If it has Drain Punch, I will cry. I don't think it does.
If it has Drain Punch, it should not be realistic.
It does not, but it does
Okay.
have Close Combat,
jeez.
Earthquake.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's got the coverage. It's got Play Rough. It's got coverage.
Yeah, that's pretty okay. I understand the Typhlosion switch to Earthring now. Yeah, I'm gonna give the win to Swordfish here. I know we didn't talk about too much of the other mons, but just overall, the composition supports Ursaring really well. Passimian is a great pivot. Even something like Kilowattrel could go like a Tailwind support to help Ursaring even more. Or Bramble, because you have Kilowattrel and Bramble Gas if you want to go with a Tailwind setup.
Mm-hmm.
So it's honestly not bad. I could see that working out pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna say 2-0 Swordfish. 3-0 Swordfish.
Okay. Yeah. At first I thought Jackson had the matchup here, but I kind of talked myself into Swordfish. But I'm still gonna go with Jackson here just to kind of mix it up. And I do definitely think that Jackson has a chance, especially with Terra involved. You know, you can always Terra to a steal and take facade hits with like Masquerade or even like Cloister, but you gotta be careful. Anyways, yeah, I'm gonna go with Jackson. I'm gonna go with a you know what? This is tough. I'll go with I'll go with 3-0 as well. Alright. Next matchup, we got Board versus Mellow Remedy.
Champion has been dethroned.
Mm-hmm.
Board lost last week, but still holding strong. Still fantastic differential. Pretty much guaranteed, unless they go on a crazy loss streak, to be in the playoffs. Versus Mello, who also I think has a pretty good. Oh no, they have lost every week. Oops. But yeah, so this is definitely an interesting matchup. I could see this going in a couple different directions. The most notable direction I see is something that is very similar to happened in previous weeks, where one Mon on Board's team just gets in a really good position and cleans up the rest. Though Melo's team is pretty bulky, and I'm trying to see if, yeah, Board has enough power to get through that bulk, I feel.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's hard to say. Melo's team composition is the kind of composition that I don't mesh well with, I feel. There's a lot of really hyper offensive mons and a lot of very, very frail attackers, essentially. Stuff like Kamala, Salazar, Haunter, even Honchcrow. And then some really bulky mons to kind of make up for that with Mudsdale, Knacklestack, and Dreadnought, and Chestnut. But I don't know how well they mesh together.
Yeah. I mean, it is kind of hard to see Mello doing much in this game, like against Board's team. It's kind of tough. I guess we could talk about Chestnut being like Terra Water. I think that's pretty good here. Serena comes out, you could just go into your Dragonair, go into Salazzle, even Haunter. So, I think Terra Water Chestnut could do some work here. Could also eat the Tinkaton hits, which is nice. So, I think
the one thing that's scary is that you'll probably be against Rotom, and you're basically having a 50-50 on whether it uses a Volt Switch or a Blizzard, and you really don't want your Mudsdale to eat a Blizzard.
no, you could just go Knackle.
True, that's fair. Knackle could eat quite a bit. Yeah, and it can also take like a Shadow Ball tech as well, since it's Knackle Snack.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna give it to Mello. I think Mello's gonna come out of the lost pool. I'm gonna give Mello a 2-0. Maybe I'm crazy, but I could see this team working out against Board.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I think there's definitely there's some wiggle room. Hatterene also is extremely good here. Like if you can get rid of that Tinkaton, it definitely opens up Hatterene to put in a lot of work in this game. Yeah. But I gotta go with Board. He hasn't disappointed yet. I'm gonna go with a 5-0 somehow.
Okay.
All right. Second and to last game, we got Hoflug versus Lucky OT or Zero T. I'm just going Lucky.
Okay. The three Hisui champions, battling it out. Samurott, Braviary, and Zoroark. Overall, I think Toph has a pretty clear advantage in typing. You obviously see Samurott, the dark type against Zoroark, is having a really strong dark type against Zoroark makes Zoroark have a really hard time doing what it wants to do, which is pretending to be something else. Because if you just use a dark type on something that can probably accept hitting a dark move, you're going to have your Zoroark die. Or even just a neutral water move, I also think Braviary is really strong here against Slowbro. Slowbro can eat it pretty well, but not amazingly well. And I don't think, does Slowbro have any ice moves?
Yeah.
It does. Okay, so it can answer it back pretty easily. I don't know. Lycanroc is just really solid speed support. Your Houndoom or Scyther. I'm liking Toph's team here.
I can see what you mean. I can definitely see Samurott putting in work. I don't know, because I feel like defensive Florges can come out on it pretty easily. It lost, I believe it lost Defog, so it's kind of annoying for the spikes, but that's okay. Braviary pretty much gets walled by the Bronzong, so that's not bad. It can Calm Mind and stuff like that against the Bronzong, which is kind of annoying, but let me see. Charizard isn't bad, actually, here. Charizard, if you even go like a mixed set, or like a Dragon Dance set, like Dragon Dance Charizard really doesn't look bad here at all. You have the Fire move, you've got Earthquake, you've got
Terra Blast for anything else.
Yeah, you could do Terra Blast if you want. Yeah, I honestly don't see Charizard as that bad here. It actually looks pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know if Lycanroc Terras too often, but Charizard losing or changing its typing is actually quite effective. Yeah, I'm gonna just give it to Toph here and say 4-0 victory.
Okay. I'm gonna go with Lucky. I will go with a. You know what? I'll go with a 4-0 as well.
All right.
All right, last one here. We got Shinrai versus Egro.
All right. Eagle did not disappoint last time. Got a solid 3-0 victory. The changes worked. Things are looking up. On the other side of things, Shinrai has been doing pretty well. Has 3 wins and only 1 loss with a 1 differential. So pretty tough matchup. I'm not gonna lie, but I feel like if there's any team that could answer the offensive Noivern and Gallade and this kind of stuff, it would be Palisand, Wo-Chan, Cryogon, Aldrich Algae. Like, these mons can handle themselves when it comes to offensive threats.
Yeah. Yeah, I could definitely agree with that. It's crazy because Egro has like this amazing defensive core, and then even has some really good offense. I mean, Tauros is strong, Inteleon, Jolteon, Meloetta is a great setup mon as well here.
Yeah, those top 4 are really scary when they get going, and their support from the defensive cores allow them to come in pretty safely. Leech Seed from Wo-Chan, Burns from Driftblim, even just spin support from Cryogonal to get it out so that there's no chip damage, all that kind of stuff. Really helps them in coming in a really safe position and dishing out a lot of damage.
Yeah. Jolteon here. Just looking at Jolteon. It does get pretty walled by Toadscroll. It is especially defensive mon in general. And because Jolteon isn't, Terra, it's going to be very hard to break with Jolteon. In fact, I think you just baton pass out every time it comes out into something like an Inteleon or like a Cryogonal with Ice Beam and threaten it out.
Honestly, I don't even know if you bring Jolteon here. I think you have some perfectly acceptable threats with like Meloetta and Inteleon, and just staying very bulky and whittling Shinrai down, because I think you have better recovery and I think you have better answers to the threats that Shinrai has than Shinrai has to Egril's threats overall. So I think playing it slow is the right call here.
Mm-hmm.
And for that reason, I'm going to give Egril a locked 4-0 victory.
Oh, shit. Damn.
I've decided this season I'm putting all the pressure on the Egril for some reason.
Wow. Make this interesting. I'm gonna go Shinrai, and I'm gonna lock a. I go 3-0. I won't go as confident as you.
Okay.
So both of our locks are on this game, okay, guys? We will coach you through this.
Easy.
Yeah, I guess that is it for this week. The scores, I don't even think we went through the scores that much, but as you guys can see on the scoreboard, did we go? I think we did. We went over a little bit.
Over a little bit. I'll catch up. It's looking rough.
Looking a little rough.
But,
You're definitely, I think you're definitely still in the running. Like, one bad lock in my part, or like a bunch of bad guesses, and you're right back in it, so.
Yeah. We'll see. We voted kind of similarly this time around, but there were some differences, so we'll see how that goes. But as always, good luck in your games this week. Make sure you prep accordingly, and get those differentials up.
Yeah, that is well, there you go, guys, and we will see you guys next time. Peace.